What are we talking about again? Oh, yes. Anomaly number 21, or as we like to call them, puppet masters. The latest record of something, well, a lot of things, leaving the dimensional tears. And they all seem to be a part of the same species, which is known as the puppet masters. It's very fascinating, much like all other anomalies we've recorded. The puppet masters are a species like all other anomalies. There are over thousands, maybe in the tens of thousands, we don't know about. They have different masks, each and every single one of them. There's many to choose from. Fear, anxiety, malice, same thing, different masks, different behaviors. Now, how did we figure them out? It was hard, but we did. We let the police investigate first of the disappearances that happened in a suburban town where there was a bunch of abandoned places, but it took place in a large abandoned mall. And there's so many 911 calls of missing teenagers and family members and drunkards, all that sort of thing. It was really annoying. So when the police investigation carried out and went into there, well, they never came out, of course, so we sent IRT. And, well, they didn't come back out either, but their body cams caught something for us, and that's all we needed. A very good, vivid picture of it. We've had sketches out done by our very, very good personnel, V. And she's been, well, asking too much questions lately, every sketch. Her goal is just to sketch out what she sees on the camera, not ask questions. But enough about that. We can't let this get out to the public now, can we?
This is insane. We have to reveal this to the public. Every day we keep this a damn secret. More people will die. Isn't our job to protect the innocent?
And what? Have them know we can't contain the anomaly? Not a single one of the puppet masters spread panic? This is a Class 10 anomaly. Unlike the Wrangler, we can't use anything to keep it in a containment chamber. I mean, if you want, you can try and do it yourself.
It took kids, and hung them up like some trophy. 2 of them were unsavable, and we only managed to free the girl, yet she can't use her jaw to speak, even eat. If you want to reveal this to the public, then I will.
That would be unwise. You're one of our most valuable assets in getting information. To lose you would be a shame, and your daughter, she would take your place here.
You wouldn't.
Go ahead. Do it. Tell the world we couldn't stop them. Send them in a panic. Do your job.
They have a interesting hunting habit. It's called echolocation. Now, why do they use this? Because they're completely blind, despite having so many eyes on their main body. And, well, the eyes are from victims, or as we call puppets, because it turns people into puppets. They all constantly look for living things, or they're very recent and very fearsome, looking all over the place, because you know why? They can see out of the eyes that are on the puppet master. And we don't know why, but when they're on there long enough, they start looking for living things like you and I. And we don't know why, but some of our scientists theorized that the puppet master minimizes their pain when they look for something alive to become its next puppet. And here's another interesting fact. They can spin their upper and lower jaws 360 degrees with no limitations, like a merry-go-round, which is mostly used for grinding its large teeth together to use echolocation to find its prey. Other than that, it uses 2 large black hands to feel around or grab stuff. Mask is at least estimated to be 3 feet tall. We haven't caught or contained a puppet master, as it has been classified as a Class 10 anomaly, which means it's hard to contain. what it does to its victims. Now that's a whole nother story. You could say worse than death, or, well, if you want to be immortal, then go ahead, but you won't be able to do anything. You see, there's these transparent strings each puppet master has control over. We don't know how many, as there are multiple victims hanging in the air like puppets. Their arms are slightly raised, and their backs have holes in them as strings keep them up. It digs into the bones of your back, your spine, your elbows, and your arms, and your neck. And that's what keeps you afloat in the air. We don't know yet, as we haven't had a chance to find them. And why do we want to find them? Well, it's because they somehow keep the victims alive. Now, why? It's because the puppet master literally guts them, takes out all their organs it's fascinated with, and leaves the rest there. It'll use those two large black hands to rip open your stomach and ribs. And then it begins its little fascination. It seems to be fascinated by our human organs, or other animals' organs, even the reproductive ones, which is, well, disturbing, but also interesting. Why does it have this interest? We don't know. We haven't had a chance to even get a puppet master contained, because every time we send in soldiers, or A.R.E.S, or even insurgency, they keep on getting hung up like puppets. Now, how is it possible you become a puppet? Well, the first thing is you make a sound. This thing has impeccable hearing. If you slightly step and make a sound, like a boot slightly hitting the concrete floor, it'll hear it and it will know exactly where you are. And once it hears you, it's over. These invisible strings, they're the first attack. They impale your hands and your shoulders and your neck, and then it lifts you into the air where the puppet master will shove 2 fingers into your mouth, and it will dislocate your jaw, and it will rip your jaw apart like a puppet's mouth until it's satisfied, and then it begins its little exploration of your organs. It's, well, very painful, and your body is in constant agony, even after it takes out your organs. And something within these transparent strings keeps your body alive without your organs. Interesting, right? Very interesting. We're still looking into it, but it's kind of hard to research this because, well, we can't get anyone in there. From our scans to try and research its anatomy without getting too close, we found out something I personally think is amazing. It has no organs, aside from the human eyes on it, of course. The only closest things to the organs are the arms. They have veins that reach into its big ball of flesh, and yet it stays on there like bone. And the black pillar in its mouth. And we found out it does have bones, like, that surrounds the flesh within. And the flesh we shoot off keeps regenerating. And when we shot the mask, we found out it was completely hollow. It's like some sort of bone-like material, but it's more stronger. But like the flesh, it will regrow. And this thing, it has no brain, heart, lungs, nothing. What these things are, where they came from, as they have no reproduction process. Nothing at all. There's no females, there's no males, it's just it. We're gonna look into that. I'm gonna get a team, and we're gonna try and find out what happens if 2 puppet masters meet, because we can probably move 2 that are close into chasing someone, but it's hard to get into a chase because of those damn strings. Well, that's the end of the log here. I'll be back for some more. This is Dr. Evans signing off.